A couple episodes back on this show, you accused Dan Aykroyd of being Aykroyd-y.
Yes, he's might be the most Aykroyd-y person in the world, other than the British writer Peter Aykroyd.
I recently watched the movie The Founder. What can I say? I'm a sucker for biopics, even when they're about corporations. And Michael Keaton is in that movie, and he is quite Keaton-y in every role that he's in. I think that's one of the reasons why Michael Keaton was nominated for Best Actor for Birdman, because I think he toned the Keatonosity down the most.
Yes. Also, it's why it was so difficult for him to break out into dramas.
Can you think of another actor who has such distinct vocal and physical mannerisms that they can't help but creep into every role that they do?
The obvious answer is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
He can be playing the President of the United States. He can be playing a homeless man.
He's always gonna talk like this. Also Sam Elliott, another Sam.
Sam Elliott, yes. He could play the President, and he'd be required to say the words, "Legend has it. Lincoln's ghost haunts these parts."
I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode I'm gonna spring one on you. It might be good, it might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement. Here in the basement, we're celebrating June with a little thing called Cartoon June. All this month, we'll be watching animated movies. Tonight's movie is probably our most requested animated movie, and so it's time for you to spice up your life with some paprika!
Oh, man. I'm going to be taking notes on this one.
Released in 2006, co-written and directed by Satoshi Kon, Paprika was based on the novel of the same name by Yasutaka Tsutsui. A live-action adaptation of Paprika to be directed by Wolfgang Petersen was in development in 2010. However, due to the release of Christopher Nolan's Inception that same year, which has a similar premise to this, the live-action project seems to be indefinitely shelved.
Good. I really am not a fan of people making live-action recreations of cartoons. Disney.
Now we're watching this movie dubbed. I know a lot of you have strong feelings about that and think it's sacrilege to watch a dubbed version of an animated movie. But the simple fact is that it makes it easier for us to do the show on various levels, and so we're going to watch the dubbed version. That doesn't mean we're never going to watch movies with subtitles again. It just means in this case, we won't. You should watch it anyway because you'll still be entertained.
You can still leave comments about how you hate the fact that we did it.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
For your gift, I've gotten you a beloved cartoon character. This is something that can keep your buddy Totoro company on your shelf at home.
Ooh. Dough.
Dancing Homer.
But you have to provide the dancing yourself.
I don't understand this Japanese movie, Marge. It's confusing to my brain. It's the first time I've ever attempted a Homer Simpson.
Not bad.
I know. Well, pay your bill at the sake bar, hop on the bullet train, and go on over to the old leather couch, where we will be watching the Japanese animated classic, Paprika.
Oh, that guy from every anime movie ever. Detective Konakawa is at the circus.
But suddenly he finds himself inside a cage and outside at the same time.
Circus magic!
It's the wild world of Paprika.
Suddenly they're flying through the jungle like Tarzan. And they're on a train. And they're in the movie Roman Holiday.
What's happening?
It's all good fun until they get to a hotel hallway where they witness a murder.
That looks familiar. Christopher Nolan is taking notes.
Yep.
He was just dreaming. And the girl who was in his dream is in the room with him. Her name is Paprika. She tells him about this new device called the DC Mini, which allows someone to go inside someone else's dreams.
It's a perfect dream machine.
That was my nickname in college. The perfect dream machine, Sloan. They called me The dreaming man is Detective Konakawa, and he is currently investigating a homicide.
If you ever need to find me, you can find me down at the Radio Club.
Radio Club. I'm so baffled right now. I feel like I'm at the end of 2001. It's just Meanwhile, at the institute where the DC Mini is being manufactured, Dr. Takita is stuck in an elevator. He's a rather large man. His colleague, Dr. Chiba, helps him out.
The DC Mini?
Apparently it was stolen this morning.
That great oaf, let it be stolen.
I can read dreams and also manipulate and control dreams.
They go to see the chairman.
who you might recognize as being the man in the chair.
He doesn't want that thing to be used in the first place.
It is the responsibility of man to control science and technology.
Nadoy
Shima, the chief of the project,
goes crazy.
Even the five-court ladies dancing to frog flutes and drums had it. I don't support Technicolor parfaits and those snobby little petits-fours.
is he a beat poet?
Now I am truly grand, the ultimate one!
I shouldn't have smoked all that meth. That was a mistake.
This is what you get when you ask Lucky to think.
And he jumps out the window.
And lives.
Somebody used the DC Mini to implant the dreams of a crazy person in Shima.
Probably this guy who disappeared from the lab a few weeks ago.
Himuro!
They can tell because they see him inside one of these crazy dreams.
Himuro was the assistant of Takita. They're just kind of these man children who also happen to be the smartest people in the world.
Osanai is another guy who works at the Institute.
Sometimes a genius produces a lot more than he even realizes.
You lost me on that last part.
Movie, you've lost me on this first part.
They go and they search Himuro's apartment, and it's creepy. It's filled with doll parts.
It's not an anime movie if someone doesn't go, huh?
And Dr. Chiba, she finds something in the closet. It's a ladder.
I do not want to see Himuro's sex dungeon. Oh, Death Said Moth. James Gum must be down here. In the basement, reality transitions into a dream.
She sees a doll that she knows represents Himuro.
Hey, girl.
She's been sleepwalking, and she almost jumped right out of a building. Just like Chief Shibu. Just like Chief Shima.
Anaphylactic shock. Seems odd.
Full name, Annabelle Phylactic Shock.
I got stung by a jellyfish when I was a kid, and to this day I can't look at one without getting an allergic reaction to it.
Also, my left arm doesn't work. RadioClub.jp. He goes to that website, and it's a virtual bar, Radio Club, where he gets to go in and have a drink. Welcome to Radio Club. Be sure to listen to our radio broadcast called Website. What do you know? Paprika's there. They hang out. Other doctors at the Institute are going crazy, just like Shima did. The chairman...
He's just gonna shut it down.
I'm invoking executive privilege and thereby forbid all use of the DC Mini in the psychotherapy machines.
I have signed this order saying this. Dr. Chiba and Takita go to investigate an abandoned amusement park.
I sure loved going here as a kid. I talked to Himuro about it many times.
Himuro might be hiding out here.
You need to keep quiet. He's very close by.
Heil me!
Watch out!
But he's not dead. They take him to the hospital.
Here's the head of the DC Mini development team.
And here's the head of Alfredo Garcia. Detective Konakawa wants to know what this DC Mini thing is all about, and he gets told.
The nonlinear waves that are created by constant surges in the bioelectrical current can be applied to create new synapse connections when the old ones are damaged.
They could have just said computers. We would have accepted that as an answer.
When an unfortunate event occurs like this one, someone's conceit and negligence is behind it.
Now I gotta go stop Magneto. Bye.
As always, it's Dr. Takita.
Takita banana.
Because of that experience, you place your
Takita banana.
Dr. Chiba confronts Takita,
All of this DC Mini stuff is his fault.
and he's just gotta get his hand out of his pants and get back to work.
And where is Detective Konakawa now?
At a hotel. It's all here.
That's far too small to be a hotel. I don't believe you. I think he's in a building of some sort. Detective Konakawa is back at the murder scene.
I killed myself.
It to me. Takita builds 2 more DC Minis.
But there's some things I need to talk to you about.
Woo! He's gonna join Himono's electric Kool-Aid acid test.
Yes. While there, he gets turned into a robot.
Why did you have to become a doll?
Talk to the hand. Konakawa is off having his own dream. He's got some hang-ups about movies for some reason. Whoa. Takita and Himano's dream bum rushes Konakawa's dream. Oh no, it's the polyphonic spree.
All the dreams are starting to merge into just one. Takita!
He's tripping balls.
We have to get into Himura's... We have to get into Himuro's dreams as well, so we can save Takeda.
But they're in deep REM sleep.
They're night swimming.
And when she goes into the dream, she stops being Dr. Chiba, and she turns into Paprika. It was her all along.
Hey, Chief, can you hear me?
It's me, Princess Mononoke. You break the reality, you bought the reality.
She keeps running into Osanai.
Watch out, Paprika.
Leave it to me.
I see London, I see France. The guy who's behind all of it is the chairman. Oh no, not tentacle porn. He wants to take over the world of dreams, and Osanai is his lackey.
So she jumps into a painting. Osanai chases her. She becomes a Sphinx and he becomes Oedipus.
Wonder twin powers activate.
She becomes a mermaid.
Help, I'm a fish. To understand what that means, stay tuned for Seen It at the end of the show.
And the chairman becomes a whale and eats her and spews her out. She lands in the toy parade. Things are looking bad. She sees herself entering the dream and says, "Hey, Paprika, this is Paprika. Get your spicy ass out of here." Osanai finally gets her because she's turned into a butterfly and he's got the pins.
He starts to get some horny ideas.
We can now go back and forth between dreams and reality.
Meanwhile, down at the radio club.
Radio Club.
I'm drunk.
Get out of my face. Shut up. And he remembers this movie that he made when he was 17 years old.
Shot that sucker on 8mm film. It was child's play.
Child's play? With Chucky?
They just keep running and running the whole film long.
Running and running. I call it THX 1139.
And then he remembers the guy he made it with. He hasn't thought about that guy in years. And that guy's dead now.
His friend represents all the dreams that the detective never achieved.
Through some very bizarre foreplay,
Eek. Welcome to Japan.
Osanai manages to separate Dr. Chiba and Paprika into two separate entities, I think. Next time you see that guy's Tinder profile, swipe left. Keep in mind anything that I'm saying could be wrong. Right and wrong might not matter at this point. I'm really not sure. The chairman shows up. He says, "Well, we must get rid of Paprika." And Osanai says, No, I love her. Konakawa bursts through the movie screen from his dream into their dream and saves the day.
Osanai finally becomes the guy that was the murderer in real life.
That pain is real.
Dirty Konakawa.
Osanai!
Oh, looks like it's a perfect day. Did you shoot up heroin? I saw Train Spotting. Dreams and reality have now collided. The streets are full of these crazy toys. Is it Insanity Day already? I didn't expect a parade.
And they're tearing everything apart.
No more anger. Our world is happy and mundane.
If you're unhappy, let the politicians know.
Hey, it's one of those things.
Daruma!
Dreams and reality are merging all together.
Damn you, Ursula Le Guin and your stupid lathe of heaven.
The floor breaks out from under Shima. Another woman's hand comes in, and it's Paprika.
I have to help Tokita. Let that irresponsible fatty take care of himself.
Irresponsible fatty. He's an irresponsible fat man.
Oh, I forgot. The baby. And she gets eaten for her troubles.
Well, you made your bed. Now you'll be excreted out of it.
And then they see the chairman. He's 3 times bigger than a skyscraper.
And he says, I'm going to purify the world.
Oh no, he's a bad Dr. Manhattan.
There's always an opposite. Light and darkness, life and death, and to spice it all up, you add...
Paprika!
I get it.
Bingo!
I don't get it. A baby comes out of the robot. It's a girl baby, though.
Sucks up the bad dream, so he gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Stop eating my world. But the girl baby eats him and becomes a woman adult. And now things have gone back to normal.
Are we awake? Or is this still the dream?
Detective Konakawa decides to go see a movie because he has worked through some things. Paprika. Are we awake, or is this the dream? Paprika.
We're awake, Matt. Deal with it.
We can have our own little nightmare parade right here. We just need to bring out the nightmare creatures.
Oh.
Do ho ho do. I'm a scary bear, and I'm a spaceman.
Hello, Matt.
It's me, Shimo! If there's ever a movie that needs to be watched a second time,
Yes.
and possibly a third and fourth time, not it would benefit from it, this movie and Primer, you need to watch them a second time. Then again, as far as understanding every single thing that happens in the movie, is that really necessary? We have dreams all the time. We don't know what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts of this movie, long stretches, that are completely mystifying.
But at the same time, completely hypnotic. I could watch the chase scene through all the dreams for 90 minutes. That is capturing a dream on film.
This is the movie where dream meets reality meets fiction meets dreams. It's a big old circle. It just keeps spinning around and around and around. Konakawa became a cop because he played the cop in the movie that he made.
A reality created from fiction.
Reality and fiction.
When you watch a lot of movies, your dreams will become more cinematic as well, which is awesome.
Let's talk about this movie versus the movie it is most often compared to, and that's Inception.
Yes.
What are the similarities?
The elevator going through the layers of dreams.
The guy kind of falling and almost floating in the hallway in slow motion.
Nolan definitely saw this movie.
But is he stealing this movie? I don't think he is.
Inception is very, very creative, and if it's stealing anything, it's from an obscure Scrooge McDuck comic book from like 20 years ago, which is the exact same plot as Inception, including the layers of dreams. This is a true story, I swear to God. You know, I have a theory about Inception. It's a sequel to a movie that's never been made. They start with a cold open, and it's kind of reintroducing the entire concept of what these men do. And then as soon as that's over, they get rid of a character, someone you recognize. They get rid of Lucas Haas. Oh, he was one of the stars of the last movie, but he's been taken out so that we can bring a woman onto the crew because everyone complained we didn't have a woman in the first movie. Here's this thing that you do. What if we did it differently? Instead of going in to steal an idea like they did in the last movie, we're going to go in and plant an idea like we're going to do in this one. So it's the sequel to a movie which we'll call, I guess, Induction?
Inception Zero.
I think more movies should be made that way. Makes you think harder.
It's a good theory. No more anger. Our world is happy and mundane. That's what the dream people chant. What does that phrase mean?
A lot of times when you have the benign supervillain, the one who's going to make the world better, what they want to do is just make us have no conflict at all. We'll live in a world of peace.
Want everyone to be the same.
Watched over by machines of loving grace. As Richard Brodigan said, happy and mundane.
We'll take our soma and
Yeah, exactly. People expect of critics and also themselves to go into a movie and walk out thinking, I totally got that. There's nothing wrong with not getting a movie. It makes me want to go back and see the movie again.
And when you do it, you could watch it in the original language.
Yes, just expect to walk out confused. And this is something that will turn people off. It's like, I'm never going to watch another anime movie again because I saw that Paprika. I never want to see a foreign movie again because I saw The Exterminating Angel and it just befuddled me. And that works against film, and it works against all art, and it works against yourself.
And you should see The Exterminating Angel because they all pee in a vase.
I love that movie.
Final thoughts on Paprika.
There will be no final thoughts on Paprika. Just more thoughts.
I'm sorry that you can't visit the online bar known as the Radio Club, but you can visit our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. That's online, and you can go there right now. There's all the episodes that we've ever made, and there's PayPal donation buttons. You can donate to support our show either one time or do a monthly rolling donation.
Has anyone done that recently?
You know it!
Yes!
One of our recent donors is Brant, who says, I was inspired by you guys to enter the cinema immersion tank. I went with Kurosawa's Rashomon.
Ooh.
I never once got tired of watching this absolute classic, and the photography only got more beautiful with each viewing. For those of you who don't know, the cinema immersion tank is where you pick a movie and you watch it 5 times in a row, 5 nights in a row. It's got to be in a row. Doesn't count if you break it up. If you want to find out who the rest of our donors are and see the exciting contents of our mailbag, you can watch Unboxing, which comes out this coming Friday. We have another installment of the Hard Ticket Report. We talk about Fight Club. It's a good time.
We don't always talk about Fight Club, but this time we talk about Fight Club.
And now it's time for Seen It.
Seen it!
Ugh. Tonight's Seen It, we will be focusing on animation that was sent to us by our viewers to our P.O. Box. It's a theme I like to call Fanimation.
I'm afraid we don't remember who exactly sent us these videos. We start out with, help, a fish. We start out with Help, I'm a Fish. This is a Norwegian movie that's been dubbed into English. And it's about 3 kids who turn into fishes due to some potion that puts them in the ocean. It's also called A Fishtail.
This movie features a pre-Breaking Bad Aaron Paul as the voice of the fat nerd.
Yes, it also features Alan Rickman doing his best Jeremy Irons impersonation.
I thought this movie was okay. I thought the music was pretty terrible.
The music was unnecessary.
Yes.
The first song didn't appear until like 20 minutes into the movie, and then you're like, what? This wasn't part of the agreement.
But this does have some really beautiful instances of animation, particularly the seascapes that they present.
I didn't feel like I wasted time watching it.
Yeah. This movie also features the line, "Hey, check it out, we're fish. Isn't that cool?" Next up, we have The Illusionist. Seen it.
I was going to watch this one, but I don't have a Blu-ray player.
This is from the people who brought you The Triplets of Belleville. This is a cell animated film, and it is based on an unproduced script by the late Jacques Tati. I found the animation in this at times to be quite beautiful. I found the story to be far too melancholy to reconcile with the comedy that's going on. I found it to be a very weird experience. But one thing this really does do is it brings the physicality of Jacques Tati to The Illusionist.
I am not a fan of Jacques Tati. When he does something great, I grin appreciatively and intellectually as opposed to laughing my ass off, which you'd expect to do from a comedian.
Yeah, well, you ain't gonna be laughing at this movie because you're gonna be way too sad.
Yeah. Jacques Tati is comedy for people who don't like to laugh. Little Nemo, Adventures in Slumberland. Seen it.
Seen it. This came out in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
I had a much better time with this than I did with Help, I'm a Fish.
I had the opposite experience because I was expecting nothing out of Help, I'm a Fish. It's called Help, I'm a Fish, goddammit. Little Nemo reeks of a movie that was made by committee in 2 different languages. Who cares if Miyazaki and Chris Columbus and Ray Bradbury all showed up to work on the same project? They were never in the same room in the same year.
Mickey Rooney's a lovable rascal.
I couldn't stand Mickey Rooney. And he wasn't a lovable rascal. I just like to cause trouble.
He's Loki.
Yeah, he's Loki, but he doesn't engender any trust. Hey kid, you have that key. You're not supposed to put it here. Why not? Open it up. Okay, I'll do it. As opposed to, hey, I'm going to give you this and it's great. And we're going to do this and it's fun. Now what about the door?
They don't know what you're talking about because they haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, it's about a kid who has a dream.
He has a series of nested dreams, a lot like the movie Inception, or maybe even Paprika. The kid is on the adventure, he gets into trouble, he wakes up, but he's still in the dream, and he's still on the adventure. I just thought that was really neat. Flaklipa Grand Prix. And let me tell you, this movie is weird with a Norwegian beard. This is basically the Scandinavian Wallace and Gromit, except there are 2 Gromits and both of them talk. I can't help but think that Nick Park over there at Aardman Studios didn't take direct inspiration from this movie.
I couldn't watch this because it's a different region of DVD, so it doesn't work on American.
For some reason I could. It's a sweet movie. These 3 weird roommates have an interesting dynamic. There's a big car race.
Someday I will take that movie to Europe with me and watch it.
That's Seen It.
And that's our show.
We watched Paprika. Our minds were bent.
I think I might be in Matt's stream right now. I'm not entirely sure.
What's next on Cartoon June? Well, you'll have to tune in to find out, because I know what it is, and I'm the only one.
Bet it's a cartoon.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Yeah, 4.
Whoever stole the DC Mini can connect to a psychotherapy machine anytime.
Just like the Ramones sang about.
Yes.
And if they want to be given psychotherapy, that's what will be given to them.
Now I am truly grand!